I'm going to preface this video by saying I'm not really religious, but I like to think that I'm open minded and curious, and that is why I am actively looking for books about other faiths and practices. I'm also a huge consumer, so anytime I go on vacation, I am in a tourist trap trying to buy a book that will remind me of the city. Recently, I was in New Orleans, so I was checking out all the voodoo shops, and that is where I picked up this little book of Rootwork. As the subtitle should show, this is a beginner's guide, and it had everything that I was looking for. Since I didn't know much, it certainly taught me a lot, and it gave a basic history, the difference between hoodoo and voodoo, and why root work is associated with the African American community, especially those who have enslaved ancestors and were brought to the United States against their will. I also really like that this author included those personal touches, like her family history and the fact that she is descended from both African American and Filipino communities, and how that has impacted her practice. Clearly, though, this is not just her faith, it is also her business. So, in addition to being informative, at the end of the book, she includes resources in which you can pick up materials, one of which includes her shop. But overall, of course, the bulk of the book is going to be covering those different terms, symbols, the rituals that are associated with the faith. And I'm sure what everyone finds alluring when it comes to these type of spiritual practices, the fact that there's magic in everyday life. She also manages to incorporate some other terms that are more mainstream and would be appealing to those who may not be into hoodoo but are still into astrology, crystals, or essential oils. I found this to be the perfect purchase for the city, for that goal of learning more about different practices. And it was a conversation starter amongst my friends. I'm sure there's a way that I can turn my comments into a dumpster fire real quick if I ask a question about religion. So let's try and keep it a little bit more positive. If you're into astrology, what's your sign and what feels like your most powerful day in manifesting those things that you need or want in your life?